Go Mustangs! The Coach Jackson Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Welcome to Week 9 of the Coach Randy Jackson Show. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here, along with head coach Randy Jackson. This is the Halloween edition, and it's going to be up to the millions of people watching to decide what's more ridiculous. Me wearing the mythical red rail, or Coach Jackson wearing a ref's costume. That's funny.
Yeah, I talked to the team about it today. I said, pray for me because me just wearing this shirt, it's harder to get into heaven. So all the guys are praying for me because we know referees have a hard time getting in.
Well, after a game with you, they might even have a harder time sometimes, Coach. I mean, let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I try to bring as much spirituality as I can to them. That's accurate.
Well, the red rail is now home at Grapevine, and this is the actual red rail, every bit of it. And congratulations for bringing that home, Coach. That is just a beautiful, beautiful thing there. So that was last week. This past Thursday night, we finished up our fourth and final Thursday night game of the season against Fort Worth Eastern Hills. And although it was a little bit of a slower start than you were hoping for, Coach, you did come around the second half. But talk about the frustrations in the first half and getting that game moving your way.
Well, a little bit flat. I told the team at halftime it was on me. Obviously, didn't do a great job preparing them. We were flat. We were just flat. It was 27-26 at half, and we just weren't getting it done. The second half was much better. I was real proud of our effort in the second half. Just proud of our intensity in the second half. So things looked better in the second half. I mean, probably a normal thing to have a little bit of a letdown after the big win, but we try to compartmentalize better than that, make each week a one-game season, and we just did not do a great job of it. And Eastern Hills played us well. They had a few kids that made big plays on us. And
they had some athletes. Yeah, there's no question about it.
They did.
They came to play.
Their coaching staff did a great job, and sometimes you can get lulled to sleep a little bit playing some of the Fort Worth schools thinking they're all going to be like that. And they weren't. And I really give them a lot of credit. They're out of the playoffs. It's week 9, and they played hard.
Well, all year long at the Breakfast of Champions, John Earl has been on point. And this week again, he talked about having a warrior mentality and not having that letdown. So talk about how John Earl through the Breakfast of Champions has kind of been an extension of the personality of the team all year.
You know, he's just done amazing. And really my thoughts is have our chaplain speak about half the time and bring in some other speakers just so our guys don't hear the same message. But he's been so great that I haven't pushed that. I mean, every week he's just right on point. And he talked about Mike Tyson when he was in his heyday, kind of getting too comfortable and Buster Douglas having the fight of his life and knocking him out. And then Buster Douglas never won another fight again. And I felt like we were a little bit of Buster Douglas the first half, where we were kind of resting on the win from the week before, but we did step it up in the second half. But John just has a great way of bringing those messages every week, and he's been a big part of our success this year. And I every week I just can't wait to hear what he's going to say about the Birdville game, because that's near and dear to his heart, and it'll be something great again this week.
Well, we as the father sure enjoy hearing him every week. But the game was 27-26 at the half. And second half, you got a good start. The defense came out, made a quick stop, forced a bad punt, and then the offense got you a touchdown within the first 2 minutes. We'll have our player of the week, Dylan Gonzalez, roll in here and show us some of the plays here. Dylan probably doesn't really care about the defense, to be honest with you. Coach, if you can see that, talk about the quick defensive stops here that got us going in the second half.
Well, Brian Andrews, when his motor's going like that, a tackle behind the line of scrimmage, no one can block Brian whenever he plays like that, and just got us going for sure. I mean, he did that time and time again in the second half. Still great pressure on the quarterback, which is always tough. Just anytime we can make the quarterback uncomfortable, it's good stuff. Anytime you can block a punch, huge. Stats show when you block a punt, your odds of winning the game are big. We talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half all the time, so for us to start the second half like this and then go score, just made us all feel a little bit better, feel like we were playing Mustang football again.
Well, after that, it certainly got back to business as usual. Thanks, Dylan. We'll see Dylan more here in the locker room interview coming up. So once you got back to the business as usual, the defense really, again, in the second half was just huge. I mean, it was 2 long plays in the first half, but 167 of those yards came on just 2 plays. After that, they only had 100 yards the whole night. So talk about what it takes in the second half for them to really set the stage.
Well, they just had some big plays on. It's kind of a perfect storm. They just had some big plays that we had to find a way to apply more pressure to the quarterback. They were throwing it so fast we were having a hard time getting to him. We did a better job of that in the second half, and we just kind of lost a little bit of confidence in the first half. And I think all that just helped us. And then again, that first 5 minutes is such a big deal. We just gave them a little bit of hope in the first half, and once that first 5 minutes started and we shut them down, we blocked the punt, we went and scored, then that hope started fading, and they just, they kind of started playing a little bit more like we should have made them do in the first half.
Well, once you see the shoulder pad sag, you know the energy's gone. And,
That's right.
and it took a little while to get them there this week. Offense was a little spotty in the first half, but solid enough in the second half to get some of the younger guys in. Dylan Gonzalez, who we just saw and we'll see again, was big, 9 catches, 147 yards, and 2 TDs. Talk about the offense getting to the point where you can actually get some of the younger guys on the field and get some reps for those guys.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, Dylan just had a great game. I love about our receiver corps. You never know who's going to be week to week, and we've got. I love having so many different weapons, and Dylan came up big for us and some big catches, and he always does a great job blocking. But yeah, our Wolf did another great job of running hard, and I thought our O-line played pretty good all in all too. We used to have to cut down on a turnover here and there, but finally we got it going. We really wanted to get our young guys in there. I wanted Kay to be able to have some meaningful snaps, and he did have some. He got to punt one time, and just those kind of things where if it comes down to it, and we're in a close ball game in the playoffs, where he's had some of that experience. So I'm glad that we did get some of those guys in there and have some meaningful snaps in the second half. I wish it could have been a little earlier, honestly.
Well, and for Cade, it's going to be helpful because he's got a little confidence now. He went 3 for 3. And you talk about the receivers; they've been able to spread that around, and with Zach Carnes out to the playoffs, it's going to be helpful to have those guys getting some spread the ball around. And Allen's done a good job of finding them. So we're on to the regular final season game of the year. It's going to be senior night this week. Birdville's coming into town. Talk about the seniors in the senior class that's going to be leaving you after this year, and then we'll talk about Birdville.
We got 34 guys, and from the bottom of my heart, I don't know if I've ever had as much affection and love for 34 guys coming in, and we had to do some extreme things to change the culture here and become blue collar. And so these guys have paid the price. We put them through the ringer. We've grinded their corn and they've let us do it. So these guys are, when they can look back 20 years from now and say, we turned Grapevine football. Last year's senior class, their fingerprints are on it some, but these guys are going to be the class that really turned it. It's a great senior class. Couldn't be more proud of them. Couldn't be more honored to be their coach. So I really hope that we play lights out and they win that last game on this field, and I think we will.
Well, it's been fun to watch them all season long and see what they've accomplished. And your mantra of tough people win has certainly paid off for them, and they'll learn from that. You got Birdville coming in last game of the season, and they've got something to play for. At least they hope they do. They've got nothing to lose, going to be all or nothing for them. Talk about what it's going to take to be ready for Birdville.
Birdville's been a little bit of a surprise this year. I mean, we have so much respect for them. I mean, it's a great. When I got here, this is the program that I said, hey guys, here's what we need to be. They're 3 and 4 rounds every year. They're a relevant program. They do things the right way. They're tough and physical, and they've had a bunch of injuries this year. And so what we talked to the team about today was it's a dangerous team because they kind of don't have anything to lose. They're going to probably play loose. It's going to be their seniors' last game, and so we have to expect them to give us their best shot. I think it'll be like a bowl game for them. So that's what we have to expect. They've underachieved a little bit, but they're very capable, and we have to be ready for that. We talked to our seniors. In 2014, our JV won the game by 1 point. Our freshmen lost to them by 1 point. So it's always been close battles every year, so we shouldn't expect anything else but a close battle this year on Friday night.
Well, that'll, if nothing else, get you ready for that playoff game coming up a week from Friday. Talk about what we were looking forward to in the playoff game coming up.
Well, we really lucky that we're set already. We know we're going to play. We know the date and all that. Usually it doesn't happen this fast, and I do think it's important for people to get to know, to plan. It's really hard to play on Friday in bi-districts. We got lucky there, so we're going to play Friday, November the 11th, 7 p.m. at Pennington. So it's really, we're lucky all the way around. It's not very far. It's a great stadium. It's going to be Fort Worth Southwest. Don't know much about them. It's one of the Fort Worth schools we haven't played. They'll be 6-4. They have a new head coach, some speed. They'll be a worthy opponent. But we're lucky we get to stay on that Friday routine, and and just so everybody knows, we will all of our playoff games will be on Friday as long as we can play on Friday.
That's good to know. Well, we got to deal with Birdville first. It's going to be senior night. Senior night parents be on the field by 6:30. Don't forget Breakfast of Champions Friday morning at 7:30. Bring plenty of food for the players and the coaches. And we will see you Friday night, November the 4th, 7:30, Mustang Panther Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't laugh at us. This was the Halloween edition. Take it seriously. We will see you next week for the final regular season week for the Coach Jackson Show. In the meantime, thanks for all those who helped make this one happen. We will see you soon. Here in the Grapevine Mustang locker room with Dylan Gonzalez, one of the leading receivers for the Grapevine Mustangs this year, one of the leading seniors on the team as well. Dylan, talk about your senior year and how it's going.
Well, it's just been great to be a part of this team. We got a lot of leadership and a lot of talent. I definitely think we're achieving to what we expected to be doing this year, and I'm looking forward to keeping it rolling.
Well, you got one more regular season week and then some playoffs. You were Offensive Player of the Week this past week at the Eastern Hills game. Talk about that game and just how the game evolved and how y'all had to get things going in the second half.
It was a shaky start. We, as a team, we were warned, not to have a down week after our big win against Colleyville, and I think that's exactly what happened in the first half. And second half, we made some adjustments, and then we just came out, ready to win that game and put it past us.
Well, you were a big part of turning things around in that game. 9 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Let's look at the 2 touchdowns and another one of the critical plays here. Talk to us about what's going on here in this situation.
So I got in, and the coaches had a great game plan set up for us, as they always do. And it's just a simple man concept that they had at the corner of that game, and they just said beat him over the top and made him move and got him deep.
Well, that was a big one to keep things rolling in the first half and to keep them from taking too much control of the game. This was a catch that kept a critical drive going. Talk about what's going on here.
Just a simple out route. We knew they were going to keep running that man concept, and they were giving me more cushion since we had been attacking vertically, and gave me a lot of room to make that catch.
So that kept the drive going. And then this was your second touchdown. Talk about what's going on in this one.
This is just another great job by the coaches of having a good game plan, just knowing where the routes are going to be open, knowing where the defenders are going to be, and Al did a good job of getting me the ball.
So it's going to come right over the top. Tough catch, but that was also a critical part to keep the game going. So nice job there. Keep it rolling, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week against Birdville and in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
You bet. Good job.
Go Mustangs! The Coach Jackson Show, brought to you by Kim Assad, your real estate broker.